What is the best way to whiten your teeth? This is perhaps one of the most common questions on the internet, and the one with the most home remedies that only damage your teeth. And let me tell you something, there are really three proven ways to whiten your teeth. But you have to understand first, before you try them, where your stains come from. Teeth stains can be caused by an internal problem with the tooth. It can even be a cavity that makes the tooth darker, or it can be an external problem, that is, an extrinsic stain. The differences is the key, extrinsic and intrinsic. All extrinsic stains can be removed with a dental cleaning, for example, or with the whitening toothpaste sold on the market. If you go and buy the very famous whitening toothpaste, the only thing that paste will do is, through abrasives, remove those extrinsic stains on your teeth. And of course, they will look whiter, but in reality, they're not whiter, they're lighter, cleaner. And that's why they have the effect of whitening the tooth. But in reality, they are not whitening anything at all. In fact, that name is misused. It shouldn't be called whitening, it should be called lightening. Because the only thing all these products do is lighten the teeth. It's important for you to know that your teeth have a natural color, and that color is the only one you'll be able to achieve when you lighten your tooth. This means that no matter how many dental whitening treatments you apply, you won't achieve an extreme white. Because many times patients tell me, "Doctor, I don't want you to whiten them so much that they look fake." I tell them, "No." And I tell them, "Don't worry, because dental lightening will only lighten your teeth as much as possible to a natural color, to your color." This means that if your natural color is not white, no matter how many whitening treatments you apply, you will never achieve the color you want, which may even be fake, and I'll explain why. Nowadays, a lot of what we see on the internet is fake. They're filters, they're photos modified with Photoshop to make the color of the tooth look much whiter than it is, than can even exist. And that makes people get a color in their heads that doesn't exist. And then they come to the dental office asking us to give them extra mega white veneers or to whiten their teeth, and they say, "I want them to look like this." Well, those colors only exist on the toilet, in the shower, in the bathtub. It's a white color that doesn't exist in nature. And since I'm on the subject, I want to tell you that no type of home whitening, please let this be very clear, no type of home whitening will work for you, and it can indeed harm you. Why? Because all of these work through abrasion. Let me explain. When your tooth is stained on the inside, meaning intrinsic stains, the only thing that will be able to whiten them are these chemicals that we dentists have in the office, based on hydrogen peroxide or carbamide peroxide. If you are trying to whiten your teeth with strawberries, with baking soda, with turmeric, with any other chemical that you use, that you put on and mix at home and it's great for whitening, it's not going to work. That aluminum foil you put on with salt and lemon, please don't do it. The only thing you're going to do is wear down the enamel you have, and you're going to damage your teeth. And guess what? Once you wear down the enamel, the dentin, which is more yellow, will be more visible. And so you won't whiten them, you'll make your teeth more yellow if you do it. Now, doctor, but why is it that some people do it on the internet and these homemade methods seem to work for them? Two explanations. The first one I've already told you is that they're filters. They can cheat and they can use filters. The second is something that also happens many times in dental offices when whitening is done. If a tooth dries out, you can try it at home. Keep your mouth like this, without swallowing, without your lips touching your teeth. And after 10 minutes, your teeth will look much whiter, but they won't be white. They're dehydrated, they've dried out. And when they're dry, well, obviously the light reflects differently and they look lighter. Even for those who have white spots on their teeth, when this dehydration happens, those spots will look even whiter. Sometimes there are people who didn't know they had spots, and when their teeth dry out for some reason, you can see those little spots, which then disappear when the teeth get hydrated again. And for this reason, with these homemade whitening methods, many times the teeth do get temporarily whitened, because when they put on the aluminum foil or the teeth dry out, they put on a Kleenex. That causes the teeth to temporarily dry out and become dehydrated and look whiter, but in the long run, it won't provide any benefit and it will damage them. Now, let's talk about the teeth whitening methods that actually work. In third place, we have whitening toothpastes, and the only thing they really do, as I've said, is remove stains from the teeth using abrasives. What stains can it remove? Well, the ones caused by black tea, coffee, sodas, wine, and dark beverages. Those are the stains that whitening toothpastes with abrasives will remove from your teeth, and they will indeed look lighter. Now, next, we have the treatment that are done in the dental office, and there are two of them. Specifically, there's the whitening that's done directly with a lamp or laser, and the one you take home with you. In my office, we exclusively use the one that you take home. Why? Because that whitening has a lower concentration of peroxide, but it's used for a longer period of time. Therefore, you will have to use it for maybe a week and a half. You take the whitening treatment home and place it in a tray that is based on the shape of your teeth. You use it every night, and it is constantly whitening. That's the technique that we've seen gives us the best results, and that lasts much longer for patients. The other technique is you go to the dental office, they apply a barrier so that this chemical doesn't burn your gums, they apply the chemical, and then they apply either a lamp or a laser for a predetermined amount of time. You'll see impressive results in a short time, but remember what I told you before. If the tooth is dry for a long time, it gets whiter, it lightens up. So many times with this treatment, you see it's super white and you say, wow, how incredible. You leave the office, and 2 hours later, you notice your teeth are yellow again. It could be that the only thing you noticed was a change in the tooth's dehydration and not so much a whitening. And maybe, even though these treatments do work, in my hands, in our office, we don't like the long term result because it doesn't last that long. Anyway, as I said, that's up to each dentist. One technique works for some, another for others. But it's the only professional way, supervised by a dentist, that can whiten your teeth without causing so much damage. Why do I say so much? Because there is some damage, of course. It's a peroxide that's acting on your tooth, and that can also cause sensitivity. Therefore, it's highly recommended that before getting a dental treatment, specifically a whitening, you check with your dentist to see if you have cavities, periodontal disease, or any problem with your teeth that might mean whitening isn't for you. Lastly, it's important for you to know that if you want to whiten your teeth, but you have veneers, you have crowns, you have resin fillings on your teeth, those will not whiten and it won't work the way you're hoping. So, friends, don't try any type of whitening without your dentist's supervision. And if you tell me that we only recommend in office whitening because we make money, let me make something very clear to you. If you keep whitening your teeth with at home methods that will only damage your enamel, you won't just have to come back to us and spend money on a whitening treatment. Maybe later it won't be for whitening, maybe it will be for veneers or crowns, because those at home whitening methods only wear away your enamel. And by wearing away all your enamel, your teeth will look so yellow that you'll need a prosthesis to cover them and make the color look better. And that's going to cost you much, much more than coming to the dental office to whiten your teeth once every 2 years. I hope you really like this video. Share it with people who are still doing their at-home whitening, and also give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, which is a channel designed for your health, for the benefit of your health, at no cost whatsoever. Everything here is free. It's beneficial information for you. Take care, be well, and we'll see you in the next video.